Good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday Mull for Saturday, the 2nd of February. With McShane, we read the second chapter of Job today, which begins again with the angels appearing before God, and Satan is amongst them, and he has a discussion with God about Job. Now that raises all sorts of theological questions, all sorts of debates about sort of what the relationship between the two is and what the responsibility is and what's going on there. And there's certainly no time in a 3-minute reflection to deal with any of that in any way at all, except to step back and say, the one thing you see quite clearly, irrespective of all those other questions, is this portrays a moral universe where God is in control. Nothing happens without his permission. He might not make it happen, but he permits it to happen. And as we go through life, we recognize God is in control. And even when there is bad going on, it's not because God's lost control or something's happening beyond his control or that he's powerless in any situation. Because a God like that's not worth worshipping. God is absolutely sovereign. And everything is under his control. And when we recognize that, we'll be like Job, because the devil goes out and he attacks Job, and Job in chapter 1 had lost all his possessions and all the wealth and everything around him. In chapter 2, he loses his health, and he ends up covered in sores and looking sick. And his wife comes to him in verse 9 and says to him, "Are you still maintaining your integrity? Curse God and die." But he replied, "You're talking like a foolish woman. Shall we accept good from God and not trouble?" So he says, you're talking like foolishness here, godlessness. You're talking like one of the godless people. You don't know, you don't understand God. Shall we accept good from God and not trouble? And here was Job accepting the trouble that had come upon him and saying, God is in control. I don't know what to make of it, but God is in control. And so as we face trouble, and I pray that our troubles aren't anywhere near as serious as Job's are, we can hang on to God. It's not that he's forgotten about us. It's not that he's left us. It's not that he's abandoned us. It's not that anything has got beyond his control or slipped away from him in any way. God is still sovereign. God is still absolutely in control. He still holds us and has us, and his love hasn't changed because God is unchanging. And we can fall back on that and say, God, I don't know what's going on, but I do know that you are sovereign. And should we accept good from God and not trouble? So be encouraged, particularly if you're facing all sorts of difficulties. If you're not, pray for those who are. And hang on to God, because he is ultimately and completely in control. Be blessed.